Y'all ready to dive, man?
Yeah, man.
All right. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Just a man on a mission, ambition to never fail. Personality electric, he is animated male. Intelligent and wise, calm and often cool. Chris James giving opinions while also speaking the truth. Empathy and compassion. Stephen Michael is here, helping you through your traumas, helping you with your fears. These three forces combine and keep it honest. Turn up the volume, cause this is the application of knowledge.
On the topic of relationships.
On the topic of relationships, I don't really know how to set this up.
Oh,
but
here we go.
I know.
It's
Okay.
a good segue, man.
But look, okay.
Tell us about your last relationship, Mel.
Oh, my last relationship.
Because I'm single now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been single. I'm trying to, in December, I said I'm going to start dating, right? So I'm single. You recently have gotten back on the market.
Okay, AOK podcast community, this is an exclusive for you all. And I wasn't going to share this with anyone but my closest friends, but there's actually a lot of good topics and a lot of good discussions that can spur up from this conversation. So, also, if I get off topic or if I'm missing anything, if there's any questions that need to be asked,
You should be on it now.
you know what I mean? Okay, all right. So, I want to say I was in a relationship.
Okay.
I was in a relationship roughly
Recently.
2 months ago. It started 2 months ago. And I met this girl on Hinge. And the interaction, it started with, we have exchanging dialogue, and the conversations were good because we had a lot of things in common as far as spirituality, the way that we see, medicine and how we see the world moving. Like, we agreed on like everything, like literally even talking about like breatharians, and not a lot of people know about breatharians, or if they hear about breatharians, they be like, oh, this is a made up mumble jumble type thing.
Yeah.
And so we basically, there was a lot of things that we agreed on, like literally in everything that I wanted in a woman, like who's natural, who takes care of her health, and who's spiritual, even like the political field. She was more leaning towards the right. She was more conservative when it comes to a lot of views because she's seen a lot of the BS that happens in the media. And I'm just like, who is this woman? Like, who is her? So I was just like, look, usually I stopped asking girls for their numbers. Like, I'm done asking girls for their numbers on these sites. But I was like, all right, I asked for a number. So
Wait. Hold on. How do you get to know? When y'all go on a date, how do you communicate?
Well, no. Like, if we're on dating websites, because I met her on a dating website, she'll have to offer her number to me.
So on a dating website, she would have to offer her number.
Yeah.
That's an interesting approach.
Yeah, I'm done with that. Like,
Okay.
if you're interested, all right, show me you're interested.
Mel makes him work for it, bro. That's why he's an 8.
That's why he's 8.
That's some 8. 6s and 7s can't do that.
Yeah, we can't. You know what I mean? I
Eights
gotta
can
ask
do
for the
that.
number.
Y'all can do that.
I do.
Relax.
I do get numbers.
I
I ain't trying to talk to you just yet on my phone.
Yeah, and also I get very weary when people immediately give me their number.
like
I
that.
get very weird because that actually happened, but it
Turn
actually was.
off.
You know what I mean?
Don't give me your number off fast.
Yeah, and so okay, me and this girl, we exchange numbers, so we talk. And the thing is, like, you have to think the messages are long. I mean, like, long. Pages and pages of messages. Talking about a lot of things that we're interested in, talking about stones and energy and attracting and being productive, and all this stuff is what we're talking about. And so even when we talk on the phone, conversations are lasting like 4 or 5 hours, and we're not like missing a beat, and we're just having a nice little conversation. I was like, yo, this is nice. And so I was like, you know what? We have to link up. And so we set up a time and date to meet up. We ended up going on a date. And so I picked her up from her crib, and we went to.
Oh wait, you're a gentleman. You picked her up.
Yeah.
Oh, does that make him a gentleman?
I mean,
it's hard to get women
chivalry
to
is
let
dead.
you come pick them up now.
I picked the girl up for a date.
They really be kind of like, nah, I'll just meet you. Because they think everyone's a killer. They
it's
think
just
everybody's a stalker.
ridiculous.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I do respect that because there's a lot of crazy motherfuckers in this world.
Yeah, I respect
So, like,
that.
I do respect that, but it was just, I felt comfortable. Like, yo, I ain't even asked her like, "Is it okay if I pick you?" I was like, "I'm picking you up."
Y'all
What's
was
your
y'all was
address?
on a vibe.
Yeah, it's like we
yeah.
were on the same level, you know, especially if we agreed on absolutely everything, you know. And so so I planned the day. So I picked her up. We went to a museum. We went to an art museum. She's never been, because like conversations like, what do you like? She likes art. She's never been to the art museum. Okay, cool. Let's go to the art museum. And then after that, we went to Cafe Brazil. You know, went to Cafe Brazil, got something, you know, got something to eat.
Vegan tacos.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did get to. And then after that, we went to a comedy show.
Dang, that's like 3
Yeah,
days.
my boy, you know what I'm saying? My boy, I feel you on
Oh,
that.
man.
I only do that a couple times.
I've
where I go
done
hard
that a
like
couple
that.
times. I know exactly what wave you was on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
because I was we was vibing.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
you're investing.
Yeah.
You're investing.
Yeah.
And so we had a good time at the art museum, holding hands and getting comfortable. The nervousness of her, wore off, and got acquainted at the dinner at Cafe Brazil. Then we got acquainted at the comedy show. Had a good time, nice fun and laughs. Then afterwards, went back to her crib, kicked it, chilled, and I stayed the night. You know, I stayed the night at the crib.
Ooh.
And the thing is, like, we didn't have sex or anything like that. We just stayed with one another because we just enjoy one another's company. And then that same day, we ended up being in a relationship. You know, we got into a relationship,
Record scratch.
right? And because, like, one of the things that kind of sold it for me is that she said the 4 magic words. And can you all guess the 4 magic words that she said?
I love you. Okay, that's only 3.
4 magic words.
I can be submissive. I am feminine.
I like Kevin Samuels.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
I didn't know that.
That is definitely magic words.
Yeah, those are definitely
She
magic
was-
words.
Those are definitely magic words.
You know, because, like, so if we're agreeing on a lot of things and she also agrees with everything that Kevin Samuels is talking about, I'm just like,
yeah. She might have, yeah.
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? What are we? You know, so I'm just like, yo, this is perfect. Like, her mindset and what she's talking about is everything that I want and everything that I need. So I was just like, yo. And also, how I felt, our interaction, it felt genuine. Like, I could say of the women that I've been with in my life, I've never had that so much intense emotion so soon.
Yeah.
You know, it has never, ever, ever happened so soon. And it was my first time being made aware of a twin flame, you know. And so I was looking up twin flames and things like that. I was like, oh shit, this is absolutely everything that I'm experiencing right now, you know. And you know, and so we went with it, and we know it's crazy, it's insane. Like, we've literally.
Oh yeah, we let you know.
Yeah. I spoke with Chris and Steven about it, and they
We gave you counsel.
Yeah,
You
they
didn't
gave
listen.
me counsel. They, but I was like, you know what? F it. It's what I feel. I'm going to go towards it, and because it's unknown territory. So let's experience
Have fun,
it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's what I did. And so, you know, we got together, and then from that point on,
She started to show her true colors.
it was more of things that were being brought to the light.
Her representative left the building.
Oh, bro.
As soon as you was in the relationship, her rep was like, all right, my
Bro.
work here is done.
You
Have a
know what I
nice
mean?
life.
Also, okay, so like for those who don't know, I'm a very, very, very honest person. And I don't mean it to be disrespectful or to be any kind of rude, but I just make it known, like, there's certain expectations that I have, and if there's things that I require in a relationship, I make that known from the beginning. So at the beginning, like before we even got together, I let her know, like, hey, I prioritize my time. My time and the things that I want to accomplish, I'm not doing anything that's going to take away from that. So if I'm reading, if I'm studying, if I'm working on any programs, or if I'm doing anything that's pushing me in a better direction, there's not anything that's going to come before that. I put me first. And I'm not telling that to you all. This is what I explained to her. I let her know this. So I'm upfront about my intentions and where I'm going. And also I let her know that health is very important to me. And that's on all aspects, mentally, physically, spiritually, and everything that encompasses being overall healthy. I mentioned that and I made it known. I made it very obvious. And so Like, granted, everyone has their health journey, right? And so, like, during our conversations when we were talking on Hinge, she told me, like, yeah, I primarily eat healthy. You know, I eat fruits and veggies, and, you know, I still eat meat. Cool. And the thing is, like, I don't necessarily need anyone to be vegan.
Right.
You know, just as long as you're eating healthy. If you're going to eat meat, eat healthy meat, not BS. You know, and so, yeah, I let all this stuff be known. And so, if there's things that irritate you as well, or if there's things that irritate me, let me know. We can communicate that stuff, and that needs to be known. And so, when we first got together, you know, when we went to Cafe Brazil, she ordered a sandwich and it had bacon on it or whatever, and I was just like, okay, you know, she said she's doing a little thing, and I'm gonna let this go.
I eat meat, but I eat all the meat. The worst kind of meat.
If she says she eat primarily healthy, I mean, the thing is, like, I have all the screenshots and all the messages to even back up everything that I'm saying, you know, from what we were talking about on Hinge as far as, like, eating healthy, you know, because I was like, am I tripping? Like, am I tripping? Like, and I went back, like, no, I'm not tripping, you know. And so, but when we would, the first time that we got together outside of the first day of actually getting into a relationship, the next day, we, I think it was like the next Friday or whatever. I'm like, cool, let's hang out, let's just chill, let's do something a little bit more content or more focused. And so I went to her house. Well, prior to going to her house, I was like, hey, what do you want me to, hey, do you need anything? Hey, you want me to get you anything? Just being nice. You know what I mean? Just being nice. Hey, you want anything? She's like, yeah.
That's what being in love is going to make you do.
Right. And also, I do, saying love. I told her that I loved her on the first day. And she expressed the same feelings back, you know, just so y'all can understand the level of intensity.
They were completely locked in by the second date.
You know, we're basically inseparable in a sense, you know. But it felt right, you know, nothing felt wrong. And so, like, when we went on our first little initial date, went to her crib, she was like, okay, can you get me some Domino's, or whatever, and pick up some champagne. And I was just like, and then when she sent that message, like, I felt an immediate burn in my heart. You know, I was just like, fuck this Domino's. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck is this?
Steven and I both have almost died eating Domino's.
Domino's tried to kill me. I swear they tried to kill me.
They did?
Yes. I ain't gonna
let you rock out with your story.
Okay.
Domino's tried to kill me.
And so, she said, I mean, Domino's, champagne, and whatever. I felt the burn in my heart, so I had some hesitation with my response. And I was like, okay, how am I going to tackle this? Because also, I don't want to sacrifice my integrity, but also, I keep the thing in mind, like, everyone's on their own journey. I can't rush anyone and all this stuff. And so, I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. And so, I ordered Domino's for her, get whatever the hell she wants, but I also get something from Domino's. And obviously I didn't pick things that's going to be horrible because I'm a vegan, dietary vegan. And so I get something like a hoagie or something that's, you know, just bread and vegetables or whatever. And so I get over to her crib, get the champagne popping, going.
Hey.
You know, she got the music, the Sade playing in the background, got the incense burning, got the lights dim low, got candles popping off. You know what I mean? It was a nice little vibe. I mean, honestly, real talk, it was a vibe that you see in those movies.
Oh, she said, "Oh, Daddy's coming."
Yeah.
In a sense.
Let me set it up.
Yeah, I mean, so it was literally one of those type vibes, you know, and so you know, throughout that night, nice time, and then, you know, she liked champagne, so we started drinking some champagne, and then she got a little tipsy or whatever, and we ran out of champagne, and she's like, man, I wish I had some. I said, Tom Thumb right down the street. I said, I'll go grab some champagne, cool, you know. And she started, I guess she got comfortable a little bit, loosened up or whatever, and so she, like, when I was leaving her crib to go to Tom Thumb to grab some champagne, she called me as I was walking to my car, and I was asking, what's up? She's like, what's taking you so long? and I'm like, I literally just left your apartment. I said, I'm walking.
Was she aware of when you left the apartment?
Plenty of aware. plenty of awareness. And so I was like, I'll be right back, and I'm going to the, and so bam, all right, get to Tom Thumb. It's literally like not even a 10-minute drive. It's like 3-minute drive from her crib. So get to Tom Thumb, look for the champagne that she likes, get the champagne, and then I get back in my car. I get everything that I need, get back in my car, and then she gives me a call again. And she's like, where are you? What's like, I feel you just taking forever. And I'm just like, I am on my way. I am on my way. I said, how about you just stay on the phone with me until I get back to your crib so you don't have to constantly keep calling me or whatever. And so, but I realized that, okay, like, is this how she is when she's intoxicated or whatever? And so I get back to her crib and, we enjoy the rest of the night. But also, when I get back to her crib, when I was at Tom Thumb, I got her a flower. Like, it was just like one rose in a glass. I was like, because I said, she's worried about me type thing. I was like, here's a flower, just in that, I'm thinking about you and all that stuff. So I got her a flower.
That's nice, man.
And,
Love, man. Yeah.
And also, just, I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is. But I mean, I typically like to do nice things that women would appreciate. And so also that night we had a tiny little spat because she felt bad she felt like she was making me eat bad. And I was just like, yes, I wouldn't have ordered this food if you didn't choose to go to Domino's. But also you have to understand that I'm in a health and wellness field. So I understand how to prepare my body to go on fast and cleanse myself of these things, because this isn't a norm for me, but it's not like I'm 100% strict. I'm doing absolutely everything, only fruits, berries, because she had me in this holy mode. Like I'm just this holy person who doesn't mess up or anything like that. And so I had to let her know, like, you need to relax, like calm down, And so the next day I let her know, like, how you were behaving, calling me, and, this level of clinginess. I told you that this is what I don't want, because she did express to me that she's a clinger. And I told her, that's fine. You can be a clinger, but you have to know this is the expectations you're going to get from me, So, I mean, I let her know all that, and I expressed that to her. And so, and also, I can give every super detail of every situation that we've been in.
We get the gist.
But to put everything all in a nutshell, she didn't replicate anything. She basically
false advertising.
She basically false advertised because her food selections, when we would go out or when we would, there's options just to eat, they would all be horrible options. Like literally horrible options. Like she had, just me being nice again. Like, hey, do you need me to get you anything? She's like, yeah, can you get this, some champagne? And then can you get me some donuts? Like Krispy Kreme donuts. And I'm just like, and at this point in time, I had it in my mind, like, I'm not supporting or buying anything else that's detrimental to the overall your health, because that's not anything that I want. That's not anything I promote. So I said, no, I'll get you the champagne, but no donuts or whatever.
Let me also add this, because people are probably gonna be like, what's wrong with donuts? Yeah. In our household, in our friend circle, like, we never eat donuts. Like, that's not even something that comes across our mind. We're like, yo, you want to get some donuts? Like, no one ever does that. So it's almost like a culture shock.
Yeah.
For a girl to be like, to claim to be on the same frequency, and then be like, yeah, so you get some donuts.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's like, also understand people. I made it known to her that I'm living a healthy lifestyle. And I want my woman to live a healthy lifestyle as well. You don't necessarily have to be as strict as me, but you have to live a healthy lifestyle, because this is I don't want anything that contradicts my lifestyle. And this is apparent. I made it known to her. So when she tells me she eats healthy, she has a vegetarian type of diet, and everything that she's showing me is contradicting that, it's an issue for me.
What'd you see in her refrigerator?
I didn't get.
You never looked?
No, because I was just jokingly saying, like, hey, let me check out your refrigerator, and she was just like, no, don't go through, because we couldn't have certain discussions. You know how you would have discussions. Hey, what'd you eat today? We couldn't have those discussions because she would eat some bad stuff, and automatically when I hear that, I'm thinking about everything that she told me, and then I think about what you're putting in your body, and I would go into this social storm of just like, yo, this is horrible for you, this is bad for you, it's just chemicals, why are you eating all that stuff? And so we would literally have to skip over conversations that were talking about food.
Now, Mel, if I play devil's advocate, which I don't really like doing.
Now, play devil's
if I'm
advocate.
playing devil's advocate, you're asking her, hey, what do you want? Did you ever present healthy food to her? Like, you just either bring her some healthy food or...
I've cooked for her.
Well, how did she respond to that?
I cooked her some food, and she took one bite of it. And then she was like, she didn't touch the food because I made plantains, and I made like just a dish that
One of your one pot?
Yeah, it's similar. It was different, but
Okay.
it was something that was in that same realm. But it consisted of quinoa, veggies, and some fruits, which is like peppers and stuff. I enjoyed it. And she took one bite of it, and then she didn't eat the rest of it. And she didn't say anything. And I just noticed her not eating. I was like, shit, she ain't gonna eat it. Okay, shit, that's more food for me. That's what I'm thinking. Shit, that's more food for me. And because she came over, she was telling me she was hungry. I was like, all right, cool. I'm cooking. I'm cooking, so we're gonna eat what I'm cooking.
He's like, we ain't doing no Domino's tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna cook tonight.
I'm cooking, And so I cooked. She only ate one bite of it, and she said that it's good, but she has to go to the restroom. Like her food, she felt like she was out her window to go poop. She was always waiting to poop or whatever. I think that was bullshit, because you can't tell me you're hungry. Like, oh, I'm hungry. What are we gonna eat? But then when I make the food, you take one bite and say, oh, I gotta poop, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go eat. So I think that was some BS. But that's what she said, and I was like, all right, But she finished the plantains,
So, just one thing. So it wasn't particularly that you're not trying to control her diet or control what she's eating or anything like that, because you plainly said that, people can do what they want to do. They're on their own journey, right?
Yeah.
I think that what you're essentially saying is, to be clear, is that you presented something to me, right, that basically aligned with what you wanted, and that's what she presented, right?
Yeah.
But then who she actually was, or in actual reality, she was this person. So it was more or less her saying, well, this is what I want to be, but it's not particularly yet who I am.
And she should have made that much more clear.
It was a misrepresentation which caused all this like turmoil. And it's like, wait, this is not what I want.
Yeah.
So it's not that you were being controlling or wanting her to be a certain, no, if you told me this prior, when we would have never talked.
Right.
So it's the fact that you basically lied to me. Well, you didn't. I don't think she lied to you. I think it was really just her telling you what she wanted.
He asked, what do you eat? Oh, mainly fruits and veggies and blah, blah, blah. That's a lie.
Okay.
Because every single opportunity that she had to present that to him, she wouldn't even let him go in the refrigerator because it probably wasn't nothing in there that represented what she said. She lied.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got messages.
This man pulling up receipts.
I'm just saying, I got the messages, but it's a lot, so I don't necessarily have to pinpoint.
You gotta cue it up.
Yeah, but okay, and so the details that I gave can be super long. So let me condense it as much as I possibly can without missing any details. I didn't necessarily control anything. I didn't tell her, hey, you can't eat this. I'm just not going to buy this. If you want to eat this stuff, you can buy it. Fine. But she took that as me trying to control what she eat. And when I made it clear, you can eat whatever you want. I'm just not going to, because everyone has their own pace and their own journey that they're going through to get to where she wants or whatever. But as you stated, when you're presenting yourself, it flares up a lot of things. And so there was a lot of conflict that would happen. So for instance, if we're in a relationship or just us being friends, there's things that we are going to do or say that's going to annoy you.
Yeah.
Just that's in general with people that you're just close with. It happens. A lot of people don't like to be around their parents for a certain period of time because you just get on my nerves somehow, some way. That just happens. And so if we had an issue, I let it be known. So here's an example of an issue that we had. If, just say you're laying on someone and your arm starts to go to sleep because your arm is laying on my chest or whatever. Like, okay. But when she would do this, she would put pressure like on this side, and it felt like she was putting her entire body weight on me. And so it's uncomfortable. And now at the immediate moment, I was like, okay, maybe let's see if there's a recurring thing. And so other scenarios would happen where she would put her weight on me and it would be uncomfortable for me. And so, like I said earlier, I'm an open person. I speak my mind. And I let her know, I asked her a question. I asked her, I said, when you're laying on me, are you aware of how much pressure you're putting on your weight? Or do you know how to balance out yourself, as far as putting your weight on me? And she took offense to that. And I'm just like, I said, this is nothing to be offended about. It's just I'm asking you a question is because it's uncomfortable for me. It's uncomfortable for me. I'm letting you know, like, this is uncomfortable for me. So just like, because there's women that I've dated that are much heavier and taller than her, where it feels like it's just a feather laying on me, so maybe she doesn't know the proper way to adjust her weight. And so I asked her that, and she took offense to it, and now she's like, now I feel like I can't lay on you without. I'm just like, it's not that deep, I'm just asking you a question. And so she felt apprehensive or hesitant to lay on me. Now I'm just like, and she got upset about that.
I mean, I can understand the apprehension.
Yeah.
I think that, y'all could literally work it out though. Like, it's not a hard thing to figure out.
It really isn't. And then so we had a lot of different issues. And so as I stated, if there's an issue, bring it up. But she had a problem with me bringing up an issue. Like, and she
had an issue with you bringing up issues.
She had an issue. She's like, I just want to be me. And I'm just like, that's fine. Be you. She felt like she couldn't be her because if there was an issue that happens, I would bring something up. And she's like, I don't feel like I want to have to adjust anything. And I'm just like, this literally, I said, we're not going to get anywhere here. We're not going to get anywhere if you're just going, like, if I have to put up with something that's annoying me or that's irritating. I said, I would expect the exact same thing. If I'm saying, doing, or reacting in a way that goes against how that makes you feel uncomfortable, let me know. I'm not going to take offense to it. I will improve and I will be able to work around that, So, we had a lot of stuff like that. And so couldn't have conversations about food, couldn't have conversations about issues that were going on. And also when it came to just dating or just being considerate and nice, I did absolutely everything. Like when it came to, making sure, hey, are you good? You need this, you need food, you need drinks, you need what do you need? You good? I got you. Or you want to go to this restaurant and pick you up some food. But when it came to reciprocate that in some form or fashion, it never happened. It just never happened. Like if she's on my way, if she's on the way over here, like, hey, I'm on my way, I'm gonna stop by, whatever. Do you want anything?
Right.
Just something that's, but no.
Just a gesture.
Just a nice little gesture instead of saying, hey, what are we eating today? Like just, hey, how about you pick up something for us? But that never even crossed her mind. And one of the things that it was kind of the boiling point, in a sense, is when I got sick. Is like when I was sick, I didn't feel good. I had chills and I couldn't move, and I was just like, man, I felt sick. So I can't. We had a show to go to, like one of the show of a concert that she liked to go, of an artist that she likes, and so this was on a Wednesday, and I told her on, I think either Sunday or Monday, I was like, hey, if I'm not feeling good by Wednesday, I might not be able to go, just a heads up. And so, but during this time, we didn't have good communication. She wasn't messaging me, hey, are you okay? Are you doing good? The first day she asked me, like, she didn't ask me, is there anything you need? She was like, I'm gonna get you some tea, and we're gonna make you feel good and all that stuff. Next day happens, that never happens. And so during my entire time being sick, I never got any, like, hey, do you need some soup? Do you need anything? Is there anything that you need? It was nothing, and like she said, my responses were vague. They were cold. And it seems like I didn't want to get any kind of help from her. Keep in mind, I'm dying,
right,
laying in bed.
Probably from that Domino's you had weeks earlier.
Probably so.
They try to kill you too.
Yeah, I mean, and so during that time, I was like, yo, Steve, man, I said, I had never felt so alone in a relationship. You know, it's like, man, I'm not feeling good. I said, I've never felt more alone in a relationship. Like, she's not asking me, do I need some soup? Can I come over? Or can I come over? Just comfort me in some kind of way. You're my woman. Fucking do something, you know? Regardless of my temperament, of how you feel that I am or whatever, and I'm responding in a way that's, fucking help me. Help me. I'm dying right now, man. What is happening? You know, and so I never received that during my entire time of being sick. I didn't end up going to the concert. But what I did was the ticket that I had for the concert, I gave to her mother. I was like, hey, I'll give you this ticket so you don't have to go to the concert alone and you can go with your mother. You and your mom can go together. You know, so even while I'm sick, I'm still thinking about her and making sure that she has a good time. And what her response is thank you, but then she says, you don't check up on me to make sure that I make it to the concert okay, if I made it home.
Wow.
All this stuff while I'm still sick.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
So she wants you to be masculine and care for her, protect her. You know, look after her, and there's other stuff that we just can't get into, but there's all these other things that you've done. But then when it's her time to shine, right? When it's time to nurture, when it's time to support,
show that femininity.
I mean, when it's your time, this is your time, like to step up and show, like, this is why you're with me, right? And just falls flat.
Like, take care of a brother.
Right. Like, I mean, and that don't mean you gotta go crazy. Like
nigga, you just come by. You live 5-10 minutes down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to get you some juice, like something?
I'm not even big on like texting women throughout the day. I'm usually working, so I'm usually not going to be texting you. But when a woman that I'm talking to is sick or she's not feeling well, I make extra effort.
Yeah.
I break my habits because.
Hey, you all right? Do you need anything? I mean, it's so simple. And most of the time, people say no. I'm okay.
Sometimes they'll say no, but I mean, you know, and if they need something, I got them.
I have a friend, really quick, sorry to interject, but I have a friend who just had surgery, and I put her a care package together. You know, like she's gonna be off work for like 2 months, and you know, it's getting cold and everything, so I sent her out one of those comfy those hoodies, which is a blanket. So that way she doesn't have to, like, you know, necessarily walk around with a blanket on or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just to, you know, send her some like memory foam slippers and, you know, like send some oils out to her. Like things that are going to be comforting. Like I these, you know, I care for my friends. Like, so this isn't a woman I'm dating. we're not having sex or anything like that. And it's just like, if you do that for a person that, you know, is not giving you anything in that manner, then, I mean, it should be very simple for somebody to do something for someone who they're having sex with, who's taking care of them. There's other things you've done that, you know, you just haven't got into. Like, she should be like,
want to give back to you.
Like, let me give him.
The amount of things you did for her in that short period of time is crazy. Just thinking about it. And a lot of it was her own, like, it's just the fact that she's just not responsible. But the fact that you catered to her like that, and then she didn't even take the one opportunity that she had, because you can make excuses for, okay, Mel just takes care of me, I'm not really thinking about it. But the one opportunity where he needs you, and you're just like, why are you acting like that? How come you're not calling me and texting? Like, brah.
So this is relationships now. It's modern dating.
It's just like, I'm sitting here like, bro, like, and throughout these scenarios, my feelings are like, oh, I don't want this.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like this. Oh, no. Because, like, even if we're talking about finances, there came a situation where she asked me for money, and, I mean, I obliged to half of it. But then, like, she comes up with a scenario that's like, because our battery broke down. She's like, how am I going to pay rent and all this stuff? And I'm thinking, like, there's no way that you're a full-grown human in that a responsible adult over 30 and your finances aren't in some kind of order, or you need half of a $250 you need, and that's going to see if it's going to affect you paying rent or not. And so I get everyone's finances aren't set up immaculately and everyone has their own struggles, but if I say we need to have a conversation about this, we need to talk about this as far as like being better with your money or just being better in general with how you're spending money. Because if in one message I give you this money, but the battery ends up being a little less, but I already sent you the money, and I say, okay, just use the rest of that to pick up champagne. Her response, oh yeah, I just used the rest for gas. Okay, so I guess I'll still just pick up the champagne. So whatever, you know what I mean? So and also, I mean, I took her to work. While her car was in the shop, but I took her to work. You know, woke up earlier, took her to work twice, and you know, just I mean, I did a decent amount, and so
Let me ask you a question. What was she? What can you pinpoint a couple of things that she did for you that, you know, can we give her credit somewhere?
yeah. I'll give her credit. She got me an incense holder.
Did it come with incense?
Yeah, and it came with incense, but it was hers because she had a business years ago.
So she already had.
She already had these.
Oh, so she gave you some.
She gave me incense and an incense holder because I mentioned like, man, I'm thinking about getting some incense or whatever. And she got me some incense and some incense holder.
No, she gave it to
Well,
you.
she gave me.
Some of hers.
Yeah, some of hers.
So she shared it with you. She
shared
didn't get it for you. She just. And I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm trying to help.
Well, yeah,
I'm trying to help her out.
I'm trying to highlight because I mean, I don't want to feel like this is just a shit fest, and I am the one, the only, and she's just this horrible person.
I mean, we're looking at it from your point of view, but also I'm trying to help her out, and you know, like what. It wasn't very long, so I can't say, well, what kept you there?
Enough. Did she cook for you?
No.
Did she clean for you?
No. I mentioned the thing is about the cooking.
Was she getting freaky for you?
Now, I mean,
you don't gotta go into all the details.
We are going to do that.
Jesus. Okay.
Because I think that part is important. But like when it came to cooking, I let her know like cooking. I mentioned natural food, cook for me, all this stuff, and she was like, yeah, you know, it'll take some time to, you know. I'm just like, bro,
No.
How long does it take?
A Google search, right?
She basically saying that she doesn't know how to cook vegan food or food that you would eat.
Yeah.
Which is really just you can do a hash, right? Which is just
what do you eat? Everything that doesn't have any kind of meat animal products.
Yeah, no,
simple. Look up vegan recipes.
There's a ton of.
There's an enormous amount of options.
There's so many options. So it was just excuses to counteract.
So she never cooked for you in that whole time.
Never cooked in anything, or cooked for, or provided anything like that.
Jeez.
I mean, there's a lot, and also when it came to like our sexual history or chemistry,
because obviously that's what kept you around for 2 months. I mean, it had to have been good at least. They say that when a girl is crazy or this and that, the one thing is at least the sex was good. Come on, Mel, give us that.
The sex was not good.
Oh my God.
I literally had no, like, as you know, actually, you know, when you're getting to know a woman, like, oh man, I can't wait to make love and do all this stuff. But her vagina wasn't wet. And the thing is, like, she took birth control pills. And the issue, I mean, I have a lot of issues with birth control pills.
Yeah.
But one of the main issues is that if you say you live a more natural lifestyle, you understand how the pharmaceutical industry is working and the content that you're viewing, if you listen to someone like 19 Keys.
Oh.
If you listen to someone like 19 Keys.
You should be locked in.
Bro, all the way locked in. So, and then she started taking, I'm just like, it's a contradiction. Like you can't be viewing and listening to all this stuff and you're on birth control pills, and then you're saying you don't want to get pregnant, or you know, and I'm just like, look.
I mean, use contraception.
There's plenty. Well, okay.
I was just like, these are horrible for you. I said, if you want to have kids and you want your body to be healthy, this is the last thing that you need.
Yeah.
This is literally the last thing that you need. And so I'm thinking that maybe that did have some effect on her natural juices,
for sure.
You know, because her vagina wasn't wet, was not turned. Like if you're ready, like if you're in there, you can feel it, and if it's not wet, it's going to be painful for the woman, and it was uncomfortable for me, you know, and so it was like I wasn't inspired to have sex, and if I go down on her, like she'll get a little wet and she'll climax, but then that's it. And then like I would get in afterwards, but it's like it doesn't stay wet.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just like, oh, this is not good. I'm just like, all right, cool. So that was like a really, really big issue. Is that I stopped having desire to have sex with her.
Well, that's
This is all within like 2 months. This is just going downhill fast.
Yeah. And so like the biggest thing is like all this was boiling up. And so I brought it to her attention because I was feeling like there was nothing that she was actually doing for the relationship. Like, what are you adding to, like, what value are you adding to this relationship? Because I didn't feel anything from it. And so I wanted to talk about this. And then so I asked her, like, what do you feel that what value are you adding that you contribute to our relationship? And then she didn't answer that question. What she said was, I just feel like I can't be myself. I have to keep changing, and we can't talk about this, and I have to, you always talking about food, or I'm just like, I said, that has nothing to do with the question that I'm asking you. Like, what do you contribute to the relationship? So she went to that spiel, and then we started expressing everything that I just explained as far as like the food.
shame,
and all that
insults,
stuff.
guilt, and the need to be right. It's
Mel, you're
classic.
going to be labeled as the controlling ex-boyfriend.
By her.
Yes.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Fine. Because she even.
Because just looking at things from her perspective,
Yes.
and clearly everything that she got from you was what you should do, which I don't disagree with. Like, if you telling her you love her and you guys are connecting in this manner and yada, 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 it's the same thing I would do, right? I'm going to do the same thing that you would do. But I'm then going to be like, now hold on a second. What am I getting in return?
Right.
And then that's where the problem comes, is she falls flat.
Yeah, because she was because like I asked her, what do you contribute? And she didn't necessarily answer it. And we started.
There was no answer.
No, she didn't answer it. And I was just like, okay, here's what I just violently. So no, she asked me, so what do you contribute? And I was just like, you're copying me. I said, you don't even want to know this. You're only asking this because I asked you.
She's already getting it. It's you're being a man in a relationship.
Right. But she was like, okay, what do you contribute? And I was just like, because honestly, I'm not even thinking of everything that I contribute. I'm just thinking like, I do everything. I take you to shows, I take you out, get you food, and I I
Pay for your car. I took you to work. Like, there's a whole host of things you've
and
done.
I
for
didn't
this
even
girl.
bring up the car part as far as her battery. She brought it up. She's like, oh, also the car thing, right? And she's like, I hate when men compare like tit for tat, and because you did this, I expect this, whatever. And I was just like, you don't do anything.
You haven't done anything.
There's no tit for tat here. I'm literally asking you, what are you contributing? And then after I give my response, I let her know of everything that I've done. And she said, and I let her know, I'm not even keeping track. I'm just asking you, what value are you bringing? And then she says, I give you peace of mind. I give you sex. I make sure you take care of you're sexually satisfied. And then I'm just like, if she only knew. If she only knew, because there's a lot of times where I told her like, hey, stop doing that. That doesn't feel good.
Oh my
wow.
God.
Like, hey, can you ease up? This isn't comfortable. I don't like this, And she keeps doing it. And I'm just like, fucking listen, So, I mean, obviously at that point in time, and then like, no, you didn't do that, but I could have. I didn't.
There's no
There is
point.
no reason.
There's
I didn't
no
want to be
reason.
petty.
Yeah, you don't need to destroy her confidence or
So
whatever.
she didn't add anything. So basically what she said is that she wants to rest in her femininity. She wants to rest. Let me see if I can pull up the exact message that
Should be near the end.
yeah, it should be near the end that I stated to her. She's done. Oh, here's her name.
I mean, just like Chris talked about last week, like, what does femininity mean? I mean, I just talked about it. Like, when you were sick, this is her time to express or show her feminine side.
Yep.
Like okay, she said, because also like when we were talking, when we would have a discussion, she would curse, or she would yell in some type of sense. And I'm past that point. Like if I have to raise my voice, if I have to curse at you, like fuck this and da 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 da. I don't want it. I don't want that. You know, like I've done it in the past and it hasn't yielded anything productive.
Right.
And so I'm counteracting any, like I get like we're frustrated, but in that moment of frustration, I'm like, look, I understand we're upset, but we do not need to yell at one another. We do not need to curse at one another, and we do not need to talk bad about one another. So she would curse, and I would be like, hey, you're cursing at me.
But you're controlling her though.
Yeah,
You're controlling how she talks.
You're controlling how she eats. And here's the thing: you're controlling how she eats, Mel, because you were the one buying all her food.
Right.
So if you said, "Well, I'm not buying you this," yeah, you're controlling it.
You are
then.
controlling.
Because she's not. Because you're the one that's buying her food.
Right. If she's expecting me, if she has that expectation that I'm going to be the provider for absolutely everything, I'm controlling what she eats.
Yeah, I mean that's true. You are.
Yeah.
But that's because she's not buying her own food. So
Exactly. But if I tell her, I say, if you would like to buy it, fine, go for it. I'm just not going to support buying fast food, things that are detrimental to your health.
And I think that's
and
perfectly.
she blew up about that.
And
That's
she got
perfectly
upset.
logical.
She literally got upset about that. She's like, oh, no, I can't. You're going to control me and all that
See,
stuff.
that's the thing, man. And this is where the delusion kicks in because now, once again, when she talks to her friends,
Yep.
she talks to the next guy. The next guy's going to be like, well, how were your past relationships? Oh, this last guy I was with, he was controlling. He didn't let me. He tried to control what I ate.
How I
He tried.
spoke.
You know, he didn't want me laying on him. He didn't want me. Like, it's just like, bro, like, and this is what happens. Like these stories, these things get. I literally had a conversation with this girl the other day, and she took something that I said and completely changed it in her head.
Yep.
And then later it came up. It was about my hair. Later it came up, and I'm like, "That's not what I said." And she's like, "I have receipts." I said, "Go get them." She screenshotted it, sent it to me. I was like, "Read this. Is that what I said?" Well, no, but you just literally are taking things and you're making it up. So
I think about that as well. But I'm like, you know what? Whatever I say or what I'm trying to convey to her, whatever she says in the future, I have no control over that.
I mean, of course not.
No, it's not
just-
even worth thinking about.
It's not.
But it is when you go to the next girl.
Yes, and they tell you
they
about
tell
their
you a
exes.
story, right?
Yeah.
So when women talk poorly about their exes, I'm looking at them.
Yeah.
Always. And I'm like, oh, I can see why y'all didn't, XYZ or why this, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a red flag for me.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't talk negatively about any of my exes.
Same here.
I tell what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if I was with you, it's because I cared.
My ex-wife. I mean, I don't trash her, but I mean, I will.
You've
I'll
had,
be-
you keep it real.
Yeah,
tell what
I'll be honest about certain
Look,
things.
when I say I don't talk negatively, what I'm saying is I don't go out of my way to highlight that she did this and she
Oh,
was
yeah,
being
yeah.
me and da 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 da. Like if I'm telling a story and the girl punched me in the stomach and she abused me, then she did. It's
Yeah.
not. That's just what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it speaks volumes about a person because you picked that person.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about he was controlling, he was this and that and the other, but you picked him though. So
Right.
what does that say about you? If it's even true.
Yeah.
I take accountability for a lot of things that happen in my past relationships or any relationship. In any scenario, I always think like, how could I have handled this better?
Yeah,
What
that's good.
could have been a better approach to this? And granted, when you look back at things, you can reflect like, damn, I wish I would have did that better, And that's how I move forward in any relationship. Like if there's arguments, if there's the way we talk to one another, if it's detrimental, or if it's just out of spite, or if it's very negative, I'm just like, okay, we have to fix this. So if there's an issue, let's bring it up. And so like we had a discussion that night, and then we were talking about all our issues, trying to figure out how we're going to move from this. Like, what are we going to do from this? Like, how we're going to move forward and, to make progress. And so the last thing that we talked about was the food thing about, she said, you won't even buy me as far as like the food. I'm just like, yeah, I said, I don't mind buying food for you. I let her know I don't mind buying food for you or healthy food or stuff, but I'm not going to buy the unhealthy stuff. I let her know. She got upset about that. And then she went to just go to sleep after that. But in a prior engagement, I let her know like, hey, if we have an issue, we need to rash it out. We need to figure it out now. We cannot go to sleep mad at one another. I don't want to go to sleep and wake up with that feeling in my heart of unease or just unresolved issues, you know? And so, I mean, and I literally made that known within like a 5-minute span. And we literally just did that. And she just decided to go to sleep. And so I didn't sleep. Like that entire night, I was just replaying and reflecting and just thinking about this entire. I was literally sitting there for like 4 or 5 hours.
Wow.
Just sitting there,
Playing the tape back.
just like thinking about everything, and I'm just like, nah, man.
Pointless. This is a wrap.
I was just like, nah, man. And so like that night, I didn't say anything to her. We woke up and I mean we held each other and all that stuff, and we didn't necessarily talk about any other issues. But I left. And just I replayed everything. And I was like, okay, I messaged her. And so within that message, I said, I'm a bit tired of, I said, how we ended the conversation last night is not how I wanted to end it. It was on a negative note and added to me not being able to sleep. 15 minutes prior to that, I stated that there's an issue. We'll iron it out, but that didn't happen. So the thought pertaining to that is there's no compromise on problem solving. There's going to be unnecessary conflict. I don't curse at you. You curse at me. It still happens even after I bring it to your attention. This happened more than once on a separate situation. And I said the mentioning of contributing to the relationship financially is an issue. After giving it more thought, I don't think that I am the man that you desire. I am currently not in a position to be this provider
Sugar
that you
daddy.
desire.
Babysitter.
You know, I said I've never been in a situation where I'm expected to bear 100% of like our financial leisures, you know.
I have. It sucks.
Yeah, and I said normally it's an effort on both parties from my experience. And I said now it's like if I was just like balling and I'm like a millionaire or something like that, it's different, you know,
Right.
Whatever, you know, but we make wages that aren't reflecting that, you know, which is obviously in your situation. If you miss this, you're not going to be able to pay rent type thing. And I said, I wouldn't even thought about it, but it's currently, I said, as far as like being a baller, it wouldn't even be another thought, but that's not our reality. And I said, for clarity, this isn't no tit for tat situation. Like, and I gave her an example. Like if we're planning to go to a concert, I don't mind buying the tickets, but you shouldn't have an issue with getting some water. Cause I mean, I don't drink or anything like that. So if I want some water or some snacks, you shouldn't have an issue with getting that if I'm buying tickets to a concert. I don't see the issue with just making sure one another's good, you know? And so, yeah, I gave that example. I said, this isn't necessarily a deal breaker for me. I said, but this is something that might be for you, which is why I bring it up as far as like, you know, helping one another out in a relationship. And so her response is, I apologize for cursing at you. I tend to have a sailor's mouth when I'm deeply passionate about a heated discussion. Thank you for being honest. I feel like there's the best to be transparent and sincere about what we desire in a relationship. I know I am dating with intent and looking for a husband.
Oh.
I'm sure you're also looking for a lifetime union as well. Not sure if I am the woman you desire as well. One thing that I did stand out to me is the health topic, which I find is a recurring theme, which causes a lot of strife between us. I desire to be with someone who allows me to be myself in its entirety. Someone who allows me to grow and evolve at my own pace. I also desire to be with someone who would not regulate what I eat or drink. I didn't regulate nothing.
You're controlling. There you go.
Yeah, you're controlling.
Okay. If taking on full financial responsibility is a problem for you, I respect you being upfront about it.
Now she's trying to play you.
I do desire to be with someone who will provide and desires to be generous. Let's be clear, I'm not looking for a baller. However, I am looking for someone who will want to step up into the role of being a provider so I can relax and be in my feminine.
Oh my fucking God.
At this point in my life,
I don't even like cussing, but I literally just fell out of my mouth.
At this point in my life, I desire this type of union. I see this for myself and my children. In my past,
Whoa.
she doesn't have kids currently, by the way. In my past, the men I have dated were very frugal and not responsible. I barely would go on dates or even feel like I had someone I could depend on. This is not what I want for myself at this point in my life. I would like to say there's nothing that I've done that represents anything, anything that she's
Where does she even get the standard from if she's only dated niggas that can't be responsible with their own finances?
Literally, you should. It sounds like you were the best one. You've done all this stuff for her. You've bought stuff for her. Like, I mean, like literally, she's like, oh, I just want somebody that's going to basically.
Or maybe Mel's frugal. Maybe Mel's
frugal.
But no, maybe maybe the men were like him, but that's how she's representing them now. And also, how are you going to talk about financial responsibility when a battery is going to make you choose whether you're going to have rent or be on the street? Like,
I mean, let's also be honest. Like, I mean, Mel is no slouch. Like, I don't want to be. Let's be clear here. Like, it ain't like you out here make you paycheck to paycheck. So
no, trust me, I'm good for a whole year if I needed to pay a rent bill.
So it ain't like you're struggling. But she doesn't know your finances like that. Like,
she didn't even want to talk about finances.
Right. So she doesn't know. She just wants someone to pay for everything. And here's the thing. If I'm going to pay for everything because I was married and I was paying for everything. Like, she didn't work. Like, she didn't work while she was pregnant. She didn't work until the end of our relationship. I paid for everything. Which, when I said, oh, it sucks not because I have to pay for everything, because for me personally, as a man, I don't mind that, right? I have no problem with that. I gave her money every time I got a check. She got a piece of it, so she had her own little bit of bread, right? And then I also paid for everything else, right? But the problem is that when I'm doing all the things that I'm supposed to do, and then I come home and my children are crying, or my son has a dirty diaper, or there's you didn't cook, or it's like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm doing my end of the bargain. But you're not doing your job.
And that's the problem.
That's the problem.
She didn't cook. She didn't give you peace of mind. She didn't please you sexually. She didn't support you.
She didn't want to talk about issues if there's an issue.
Yeah.
If there's topics that are thought-provoking in some sense, she didn't want to talk about that, or she didn't have anything to add. So it was just like, bro.
No man wants to deal with that.
She will be single she might get in relationships, but she's not going to be married for a very long time if she gets married at all.
Yeah, and so she said, I want to finish that message, she said, I want to change the narrative of my story. I am not saying I haven't, this was funny to me. I am not saying I have an issue with going half on events or paying for dinner, etc., but I do not desire for this to be my norm. So then you have an issue with that then.
Right.
Like, if you're in a relationship, it's going to happen for you. Hey, I'm going to pick this up. Hey, I'm going to take care of this type of thing.
When you say that you don't have a problem with it, but you don't want to be the norm, you haven't done it at all.
You haven't done anything.
Right.
In 2 months, you haven't done it at all.
Because I'll tell you like this. You just got to even just offer. I don't even have to.
You don't even have to do it. If we're out, hey, and she just pulls out her card, oh, don't worry. I appreciate the effort.
I went to the arcade with this girl on a date, and I paid for dinner, I paid for this, I paid for that, blah, 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 right? I got the first set of tickets, and I was like, oh, we need more tickets. I'm like, okay, let's go back, let's get more. We get there, and she's like, listen, you've paid for everything tonight. Like, and this was a really big date. Like, I picked her up. I'm feeling her.
Yeah.
Right. So I went above and beyond, and she was like, please let me do this. Like let me do this. And
I would respect the hell out of that.
Right. I mean, I let her because this date was expensive already, which I didn't mind.
Women have no idea how much these dates cost.
Yeah, man.
They have no. I went out with this girl once, and she just happened to see the bill, and she was like, "Oh my, oh my, what do you mean? Oh my, this is normal." Like, we go out, I go out with these girls. And you, bro, $100? Easy.
Yeah.
Easy money.
Easy. Are you serious? $200? Normal. And then they're just out having fun.
Yeah.
And then you don't never hear from them again. And you're constantly dating. Bro, this stuff gets extremely expensive.
And the thing is, like, you have to think about our first date. Like, we went to a comedy show.
Oh my God.
We went.
I
to
know
dinner.
you spent over $200.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
And the thing is, I didn't even think about the money during the process. I was like, oh, I vibe with her. I'm enjoying this moment, so I'm not even thinking about the money. It's a nice gesture. Like, if you do all this stuff, or if you see someone putting an effort into a relationship, and it's not being reciprocated in some form or fashion, and all you're getting is some kind of headache or some kind of strife, it's just like, ugh.
She doesn't see the value. It's just like, listen, like, see me. Like, I want you to see me. Like, wow, this man paid for this. He paid for this. He picked me up. He did pay for this. It was gas, time, energy, effort. Like, he went to the store. He got me drinks. He brought me a flower back. He was thinking about me. Like, all these things. Like, you don't think about that?
No.
Like, it's just, oh no. It's when I hear all of this, I hear, well, that's just expected. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Like, oh yeah, I'm a woman. You're supposed to lay the red carpet out for me. This is what you're supposed to do this. Well, what are you doing? And
are
she
you supposed
thinks,
to do?
well, I
I'm
gave you sex. I
I'm a
made sure
woman.
you were pleased. I gave you peace of mind. No, you didn't.
She
You were a
just-
headache.
She just said words.
Yeah, just things that.
She's heard Kevin Samuel say.
Yeah.
And I would mention like, oh, this is what Kevin Samuels would
Right, but you didn't give me these things.
Yeah.
Fit, feminine, submissive, friendly.
It's not that hard to do, but somehow it ends up being lost in the sauce or lost in the middle somewhere. And so to finish off her message, she said she doesn't desire this for her to be her norm, especially not in the beginning stages of courting. Whatever that means. But she wanted to be friends after this, and I was just like, okay, but that's not gonna happen.
Nah, that's over.
And so yeah, I mean that's basically the bulk of the issues. Now, I've gotten her flowers on more than one occasion. I've gotten her mother flowers. Hey, I met her family, which was nice, which is cool. Even took her brother to the gym, paid for him to get to the gym with me, and brought her mom some food. Just being genuinely a nice.
This sounds like a lot of stuff, man.
Just being, and these are things. Hey, ask your mom if she wants anything. That type of stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
So, like,
That's what love does, man.
Right.
Yeah, and granted, this relationship, you have to think, was less than 2 months.
It also sounds very generous as well.
It's
Yeah.
extremely generous.
Like
but you're not generous.
You don't even. She doesn't even. It's not even
It doesn't even
registering.
register.
Like, it doesn't even register all the things you're doing. That's extremely frustrating.
Oh, my God.
Like, you don't realize all the stuff that I'm doing, and I'm asking you for basic stuff.
Hey, can you cook for me?
You're not even doing, like,
Well,
you didn't
it's gonna
even
take some time. How much time? What's our timeline?
What, do you understand a skillet? Can you follow a recipe? Look up listen, baby, you know me, I'm not vegan, and honestly, I don't really cook like that, but I am working on my journey. I see you as somebody who I can actually see to lead me down this path. So show me what I should be doing. Let me get in the kitchen with you and show me how to cook so that way I can then return the favor and cook something for you.
Easy money.
I mean, God, is this like how difficult?
Now, and how feminine is that? Oh my God!
See, if she would have done that, you'd have been like, you would have melted. Like, you would have melted. You'd have been like, oh, I can get behind this. Like, you know what? She doesn't know how to do it. I absolutely respect that. But I'm willing to learn. Like, that is a feminine trait. I'm willing to learn.
Teach me something.
Teach me.
Bro, it is so frustrating.
I'm frustrated.
I've dealt with women because it reminds me of my past interactions with women where I have literally done everything in the relationship. I've literally said these words like, when you look at our relationship holistically, what benefit have you been to me in this relationship?
Yeah.
What benefit have you been to me? And don't sex. It's never sex.
Nah, man.
Because we both benefit from that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, what are you doing exclusively for me? And I don't even ask for anything. And the one time I ask for something, you can't do that. Like, you can't do it's super simple. But you don't care enough to do it.
It's trash out here, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I've taught girls how to juice. I've made smoothies for us. Like, they're little things, but it's just like I've never gotten any of this return. I've cooked for women. Like, I literally cooked, sat down in the living room at the table. We ate. Like, I made a nice, you know what I'm saying? It was a nice vibe. Like, why do I not get these things from women? Like, these are like everybody. We all know that everyone has masculine and feminine energy, right? But those are feminine. Well, I won't say. Well, a lot of men cook. There's more men chefs than women. But nurturing is a feminine trait.
All right, but yeah, to wrap this up, there was a lot of things that, throughout the relationship, I immediately started losing those feelings. And so a lot of people say, you don't feel anything? I literally feel zero. I feel zero. I have no. It doesn't like the feelings that I had when we were in it were true, but how I feel now, I'm good. That's why I'm back on the market, baby.
Easy come, easy go.
Yeah, me, I'm out here, back out in these streets. So, ladies,
Hit him up. His number is
Wow.
no, ladies, I would like to hear your perspective based on the story that you've heard. And also, I'm not sugarcoating anything. I'm a very honest person. And when I say that giving me the incense was like the only main thing that I received from her, that's it. That's legit only thing, you know. I mean, I've complimented her and all this stuff. A lot of things that she did, it just happened. It was basically a reaction to what I did, you know. So as far as like saying things, oh, you look nice today. She never just initiate that. She would say, if I give her a compliment, oh, you look nice too. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, that ain't the
Yeah, that's-
same.
It's not genuine.
Yes.
Like, when do you genuinely just do that first, you know? So give me your opinion on, like, granted, I understand jumping into a relationship and all that stuff early. I understand the BS. And, you know, you have to get to know someone. I'm up there.
We've
So-
we've counseled him.
If everything that you all can think of, trust me, Chris and Steven have drilled into me like, bruh, you wildin'. This is crazy. All right, go for it. You know what I mean?
Do what
So,
you do. Can't stop 'em.
so trust me, it's all been drilled into me. I understand it's too early and rushing, and you got to get to know someone until the true colors and all that stuff. But yeah, just let me know your thoughts about it, women. I'm open to hear your perspective about all of it, regardless if it goes against what we believe. Because I love the conflict in a sense, as far as like growing and learning from it, not beefing. But yeah, make sure you all subscribe, like this video, and we will see you beautiful people next time. And I am Animated Mel, Chris James, and Stephen Michael, and we will see you all later. Holla for $1.
Peace.